Man, next topic. It was so we've kind of gone into this a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
A tadpole bit, you know what I'm saying? But I think we went into it with specifically OnlyFans. But
If someone remembers that episode.
redemption. That's all I'll say.
Hey, bro. The running joke continues. Ian, we getting you on this show.
We getting you, bro. Ian, you listening? We getting you, bro. But so we went over, OnlyFans, but I wanted to go over, and by me, Nana suggested this topic. So Nana wanted to go
on
over.
everything. Y'all hear the Fed in his voice? Just all right. Maybe I'm tripping. No, I don't think
He's tripping.
All right, go ahead, Nick.
The Fed's not out yet.
Yo, you were Fed.
So Nana wanted to talk about the pros and cons of social media.
Good old social media.
And I will be as transparent as possible. I reject your hypothesis.
Which is?
That, because you can't really do a pros and cons because each social media has so many different pros and cons. So it's kind of hard to encapsulate all of them. So how'd you want to do this?
So you rejected my hypothesis, but you're going to give it a chance?
I wanted to do it live on the air, yeah.
Jesus. All right, Nick. I raise your rejection and start. Well, what is part of the good you can do on social media? What do you see as the bright spots of social media?
It livens up a boring day.
Okay.
You can do some very good activism, and you can reach a lot of people that you wouldn't be able to reach going door to door.
Quote unquote, bringing people together.
Right.
Here.
You have access to media that you wouldn't have because, a lot of people spend their time making YouTube videos,
content
making TikToks.
Creators.
Yeah, right, exactly. Content. I mean, shit, what we're doing right now. We're going to post this on our podcast service and YouTube, which is technically a social media.
Yeah.
So, social media has changed the world.
I got y'all Snapchat people with the link, by the way. Just putting that out there. Right. Y'all know the vibes.
You can honestly say the streets are a social media in a way.
Streets, okay, yeah.
Just people posting things, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the community.
The power of said internet, yep.
Right. So it's like, there's a lot of positives if you just do it on like a general basis. Obviously, if you go to individual different, medias like Twitter, Instagram, each one has different pros and cons.
All right, so let me, what do you, if you had to rank the good old, powers of the top beings of social media and ranks of which one has, like, I guess, more positive community, more positive uses?
Reddit, and then everybody else at the bottom.
Wow.
I'm playing, but Reddit is number one. Reddit's number one.
Okay.
Next would probably be, in terms of the good it can do,
like just the most positive community, positive outlook, more ability to actually bring people together instead of what we gonna talk about later in the negative.
Oh, Reddit, and then everybody. I'll go back to my original statement. Reddit, then everybody else is just in the negative camp for me.
Got you. I hear that.
Reddit's the only one that I can truly say like is about community and bringing people together, because it does something that other social medias don't do. I don't know if you go on Reddit at all.
I do.
So how it is like subreddits.
Yep.
So it's like we're not like, it doesn't matter who each individual user is. Like, I'm not looking for users.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for content.
Topics.
I'm looking for hip hop topics.
Yep.
I'm looking for movie topics. I'm looking for anime topics.
The streets really is headquarters at Reddit.
No cap. No cap. So it's like, I don't care what Joe B25 says. It's cool if he says that, but I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I'm here for the content and here for the different discussions.
Yep.
With Twitter,
it's
all
most toxic.
All user-based.
Twitter is probably the most toxic, actually. But we'll
I think Facebook is.
Really?
Facebook is like the home for disinformation.
Okay.
Because Twitter, all you can do is like have links and stuff. Reddit, you can like form communities just filled with disinformation.
But Twitter,
I don't think you can do it in the same way. Because Twitter is really just, you're tweeting, posting links, you're following, you're mentioning, you're retweeting.
You can upload content.
You can, but it's so people can, just retweet it and stuff like that.
At the end of the day.
Facebook, you can do that component by posting stuff, but there's also like groups you can join.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
Yeah, Facebook does have the groups.
I was in my first one was the sneaker groups. I used to join sneaker groups on Facebook,
The more you know. IG didn't get a mention?
IG falls in the same camp as Twitter.
Got you.
It's just with pictures and
I think it's harder to share things on IG though.
It's
Like,
easier to share pictures.
yeah, I guess you like it. Who else likes it? Like, continue.
IG is my least favorite because I don't use it like that.
Got you. I don't use
But
IG either.
but I do see that it's no more toxic than Twitter is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Is the IG community that toxic?
I I mean Twitter is more popular than IG,
Yeah.
so I think
I,
by that it's more toxic just because there's more amount of content flowing through Twitter.
more people are on Twitter than IG.
I would think so. Curious too.
I think this is worth noting. Yeah, just try to I guess gauge what good people can do, have been doing, should be doing, try to do on social media. Because I mean, we all understand that social media can get toxic like that. I mean, it's pretty much more toxic than not. That's Nick does the research.
Doing the research.
All right, all right. I'm gonna solo this, Nick. I got you. All right.
So
Main
number one is
Damn, I was
Facebook.
ready. Number one is Facebook, huh?
2.5 billion.
Then I think Twitter or IG wouldn't be far behind.
Yeah, IG second,
Yep.
Twitter's third.
Hey, IG got more.
But I think that in terms of reach, Twitter is just used more as far as reach goes.
I'll say I use. I'm millions away from the mic.
Because most people aren't, quoting stuff from IG.
I use Twitter more than I use IG.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really on Twitter per se. I know if I need information, Twitter is the better place to go. But I mean, just seeing the numbers, there's more people on IG. I'm very curious to how that. I guess IG. I mean, it's really just comments. All you can do is comment on like an IG. So very curious to see what the IG comment community is all about. Or live streams. They be commenting in the live streams. Big on those.
Thing is, Facebook and Instagram are very linked.
Twitter doesn't do live streams.
I don't think it does.
Yeah,
but
so IG got the live stream game unlocked.
Yeah, I just think that with social media, I think as far as the negatives go,
So we jumping straight to the negatives. Okay.
I mean we gone through a lot of the positives.
Yeah, I don't know if there any more positives. I mean, we talked about it. Just be able to promote yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it can build a career.
Community. Yeah,
but it can also tear a career down.
Look, but you got to understand to build a career through social media and through if you are a content creator, at the end of the day, the people who support your content are your boss. They're the reason you have a job. They're the reason you are where you are. So if your boss suddenly just doesn't fuck with you one day, it's gonna be hard to eat.
But you have a silent boss that you don't. You have your fans as your boss, but there's another boss. The people who own the platform. They are your boss, and they can take you off at any point in time.
Oh, for sure.
I'll never forget
your
what
content's always being.
You remember Alex Jones?
Oh, I he a big conservative person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, Alex Jones. Look, I'm not gonna hold you, man. I loved Alex Jones. For the memes.
Somebody's not happy about that statement.
Someone's not happy. I know. I'm sorry. Look,
I'm sorry.
Look, man, I'm as leftist as they come. I went to the fucking Medicare for All protest yesterday, so don't.
Y'all not gonna tell me
don't question my leftism. But Alex Jones was fucking hilarious. Like Alex Jones, one of the funniest people. I'll never forget. He had a whole segment basically calling Obama and Hillary Clinton devils, and like. He showed this like really unflattering picture of Hillary. He's like, she's a stinking demon and I hate her. I cried, bruh. Because it's never no substance. And I know it's not like, it's almost like he's in on it being a joke. Mm-hmm. So it makes it, it's like, I love just watching this shit. It was just hilarious. And social media basically banned him. Like social media, all the social media basically came together and said, we're getting this thing off the platform.
It's too wild.
And it's like, look, was he saying some wild stuff? Of course. That goes without saying. Mm-hmm. But are we in the business of censoring people? And I'm like, I don't like that idea. Because look, they're a private industry. So they can do whatever they want from their terms of service perspective. Of course. No, I'm not arguing that. But there is something in this country called freedom of speech.
That is true.
And it's not just the government. Obviously, the law is the government can't infringe upon your speech. Mm-hmm. But that kind of goes into, it's a whole entire, just how we live our lives.
But I also think those companies have the right to say, you can say whatever the fuck you want. just not on our platform.
But it gets to the process of somebody else can say that same shit, and it depends on who it is.
Oh
Because
no,
Donald Trump could tweet this, and obviously he's banned now,
yeah.
but he could have said the same thing that Alex Jones just said.
No, and
You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump's staying on because it's profitable for them. You know,
It matters if that person doesn't follow what their
that to
influence
me is the main con
where
of
they
social
are.
media.
But-
These companies ultimately control it, not the content creators.
I mean, that goes
And,
back to my
they
statement.
can fuck you at any moment.
If I build some shit and it's mine, I'll be damned.
Oh,
Until
for
the
sure.
government step in and tell me what I can and cannot do.
I'm not debating that. I'm saying it's a con.
Oh, no, definitely it's a con.
That's the only point I'm making. I'm saying it's a con.
No,
I'm not saying they can't do that. I respect the fact, because look, if it's gonna cost you money and you're a company, yeah, I get that.
it's part
But
of the
it's a con.
business.
It's a con for sure.
Part of the business.
I miss
model.
Alex Jones, man. That man was saying, he used to say some crazy.
I don't think those platforms miss him.
Yeah, probably not.
But no, you're right. Besides your fans, the actual platform does have a good portion of what you can and cannot do.
Right.
But
and they can demonetize you for whatever. You know what I'm saying? If
as
that's your livelihood, you know,
if you came up through social media, you can always come back down. I think that's a big note.
for sure.
Yeah, that's a big note.
What's another con you can think of? There's I have a whole bunch of them.
The inability to stop mass hate, whether it's racism, just bigotry of any kind, honestly.
You can say it elevates the hate.
No, definitely. I mean, it's the power of being able to say something behind a screen and keyboard and knowing that, like, the worst you can do is get your account taken away. That's the situation at hand here.
Right? You can like ruin somebody's life. Like you can cause somebody to commit suicide.
You can
for
really
shit
fuck
said.
up somebody's mental health.
Do you watch South Park?
Not really.
Do you know at least some of the characters?
I know the show, but I wouldn't go around saying I watch it religiously.
Respect.
Yeah.
Do you remember Kyle's dad, the Jewish dude?
Yeah.
So it's like one of the nicest characters in the show, right? And so like one episode, he was just doing some. I think it was a charity thing. He gets home. He's like stretching out, getting ready, and in his private time, he is a troll on the internet. This man will go. It's like he had a whole little montage of him just going off. He'd be like, just get the siphon.
The real head ass.
And it's like, I feel like, and look, that's obviously exaggerated, but I feel like there are a lot of
Niggas
people.
do that. Like,
there are a lot of people who might be good people on the surface, but to get that negative energy out, they just are trolls.
I understand that at the end of the day, trolls are not going to go anywhere. People are going to get on the internet and love to just fuck around with
it makes it easier, though, because a lot of people don't have the balls to do that in real life.
No, that's
and
the saddest part.
Hiding under a username is a little easier.
Oh, for sure.
To ruin somebody's day as opposed to coming up to their, like, going up to their face and saying,
but, like,
you know,
it's part of, like, how do you fix bullying? In my opinion, bullying's not going anywhere. People are gonna get bullied, and I think those are the same science.
For sure, I think that social media leads. Yeah, no,
it's
like that is such a large scale of bullying.
Yeah, it's the ladder to step up to the next game of trolling, where it's like, oh, I control it, and no one can do anything to me. Let's get it.
Now, I do think there is some culpability on the victims in this case. Sometimes.
I think it depends for sure.
It depends for sure, but I remember, I think Kyle the Creator said, he was like, you get bullied on the internet, just close the computer. And it's like that's fucked up, but that's in a way real. It's like if you're getting bullied on a platform, maybe you shouldn't be on that platform.
It definitely makes sense for you to not continue to use that thing, but obviously that doesn't fix that problem. You're not supposed to, go on the internet and begin your.
It's still a con no matter what. But it's like, I do think that some people like
don't keep getting bullied by choice. Don't do that to yourself.
That's the best. That's the best way to put it. If you're getting bullied on a platform, it's wrong. We're not in agreement that you should get bullied. Maybe you should try to
report them and go watch TV, bro.
If you're getting bullied on Twitter, maybe you might want to go.
Look, I'll say this. I know it probably wouldn't be beneficial for us because we're on a podcast, we're on the internet. But some motherfuckers need to spend less time on the internet. Like, y'all really do. Like,
unless you're watching the Rando Convo podcast.
See, it's
released every Tuesday.
Is it?
Make sure.
Is that officially?
Yeah.
Nick, are you gonna hold it?
I'm gonna hold it.
All right.
I'm gonna hold it.
I've heard you say some things that they don't hold, Nick.
I'm gonna hold it. All right, let's do this week.
I'll give you that one.
We're holding it. We're holding it. Now, we're talking podcasts. We're not talking video. Videos coming out continually over the week. So stay tuned for that. So if you are trying to have less internet, make sure you don't make that, have to do with the Rando Convo. Like, continue watching Rando Convo. We're not going to bully you.
Great plug-in, Nick.
We're not going to bully you.
I'm about to say this is a bully. I like to think it's a judge-free zone, bully-free zone.
We don't bully nobody. The only person we bully is Ian. Shouts out Ian.
Hey, bro, you really took that sentiment and just crashed that bitch. Like we had good vibes in here. Like, yeah, what kind of? Hey, bro, I got a level up for you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like we're not I don't want this to be a negative vibe
Yeah.
jump, you know? And I do think there are a lot of like podcasts, a lot of things that do kind of
Nah,
harp on the net. Like literally their
it's
channel is for negativity.
it's part of their platform. They do what they gotta do. But
Yeah.
spitting off the cons of social media. I hate
Mhm.
that motherfuckers do shit for likes. I really do hate that. I understand that's how shit blows up. That's it get popping. That's at the end of the day, likes, retweets, whatever. It's about the volume, people paying attention to your shit. But it's gotten to the point where motherfuckers will move in the actual lives
I don't
for likes.
I don't have a problem with that.
Really?
I have a problem with the people who like those things. That's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with people actually just doing the stuff.
The people entertaining them. There's the
Like,
issue.
the only reason why that stuff goes viral is because of all the people.
I think it's a two-way street. I definitely see that.
Yeah, of course, because you have to create the content. But I'm saying
Motherfuckers is out there liking it. You're not wrong.
for example, I was just watching this. I don't know if you ever heard. You gotta watch this dude named Jamari on YouTube. Bro. Shouts out to him, bro. He this might be the funniest YouTuber I've ever encountered. This man, the way he breaks down shit is just hilarious.
All right.
And so he was like, he had this video of this girl who literally had OnlyFans and everything, and she became a millionaire just off of niggas sending her money,
Just straight up.
and she just treats them like shit. Like she just treats them all like shit. She just bullies them, and that's like their kink.
That's what they pay for.
And I'm like, I'm not mad at her. Why am I mad at her?
She ain't
Like,
doing nothing
I'm
wrong.
mad at these niggas who are getting bullied and
Hey.
paying her money. Like, what are y'all doing?
That
Like,
is their
you
kink.
you are giving people like that the power. Like,
Yeah.
why are you like those people to me have the bigger issue?
Yeah,
Like
I
those
hear that.
people are having bigger mental issues than me than the people who are just because they're just trying to get content. That's easy to understand. I do not understand the dudes that are like bullying me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey.
and that's just an extreme example.
No,
of course.
niggas have fetishes. But like I said, I think it's a two-way street. I think there's people willing to
Mhm.
do it for the clout, and there's people willing to give the clout. So
Are the streets meeting at the same like 50-50, you know what I'm saying? Or is one street like
it's a little 60-40 for the
Which
niggas
way?
paying.
Okay,
Nah,
fair enough.
the
I can
niggas,
agree with
nah,
that.
because the niggas
I
doing
completely agree with
content
that.
are definitely just trying to eat at the end of the day. I can't truly get mad at that, but
Depending on the content.
I'm very disappointed that it's become part of like niggas. Motherfuckers would dedicate their daily lives to getting likes on a daily basis, and that just doesn't seem healthy to me. But at the end of the day, that's a job, that's a hustle.
I just be getting weirded out by the people. Like, if you're watching like a 5-hour Twitch stream, like, where is this time coming from?
Motherfuckers have free time at the end of the day.
Oh, I'm like, who are these people? Like, I'm like, this is like, it becomes crazy and becomes sitting there like, like if I devoted 5 hours to watching some bitch on whatever on OnlyFans, hey,
It'd be
what?
5 hours, you're not doing something else.
But what am I gonna be doing? Like, I could be. There's so much other things you can entertain yourself. I'm like, yo, like you're gonna spend 5 hours getting bullied by
Someone
this bitch?
out there would hear the list of things you said and will go, "No, I'd rather get bullied by some bitch on Twitch." That's just the state of the situation we're in.
Yo, I think that speaks to a societal problem. bro.
It might be on
I think
that.
that speaks to a society. Hey,
Nick.
Hey,
Nick,
hey,
you're gonna plug that the whole time.
mental health. Mental health is a piece of this too. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you
There's
can argue
something
with that.
mentally wrong with people.
That's true.
And
That
I
is
think
true.
that we need that. That's the understated thing about like some of our problems in society. Like there's like mental health issues.
I definitely think we've kind of crossed the line. I don't know when the line was crossed per se.
We've passed. What is it? Across the Rubicon? Is that what it is?
Past the point of no return. That's all I know.
Right.
But like, we're definitely on
We're on a bad track.
we're on a path.
We're on a
definitely
bad. We're on a bad path. No, it's a bad
and,
path.
and motherfuckers is it's getting to the point where motherfuckers really just doing whatever. So I mean, this is the state we're in. We can't really undo it per se.
We can't.
So
I wish we could though.
it's moving along.
Is that the only con? Is that the last con or the last con?
Look, there's probably a billion other cons, but I don't feel like to talk about all these cons.
Probably
I
a
heard.
bunch of pros too. So we're gonna leave it there.
We're gonna leave